Good evening, everyone. My name is Isa Dinerman, and I have the pleasure this evening of presenting to you our LifeVantage story, our product story, our activation story, our company story with Dr. Sveta Silverman. And before we get started tonight, I would just like to share with you that I've been a part of LifeVantage for 9 years now officially. And I'm a holistic esthetician in Prescott, Arizona. And I will let Dr. Sveta, I will briefly introduce her and she will share with you how she was introduced to this company. I was introduced by a client, one of my skincare clients, Marisa Harrelson, and she came into my shop and for a brow wax. And she shared with me about our True Science Activated Skincare. At the time, that was brand new. I had never heard of NRF2 activation, nor had I heard about LifeVantage. But I was someone who was so passionate about holistic measures and the cleanest products and just ways that we could age wonderfully from the inside out. So as soon as I really saw what we have our hands on here with LifeVantage, I have been so passionate about sharing this and locking arms with people like Dr. Sveta to share more with you this evening. So I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. All right, everyone. So our company is called LifeVantage. We are the activation company. And as I said, this evening I am joined by Dr. Sveta Silverman. And before I turn it over to Dr. Sveta, I just want to share a little bit about her with you. We met through this company, and not only is she a mentor to me, she is also a friend. And this is one of the beautiful, beautiful parts of our business and what we do here. We learn from one another. And Dr. Sveta Silverman is an accomplished physician and educator. She's known for bridging conventional medicine with integrative and regenerative approaches. Her passion lies in helping people understand the powerful link between the gut, the immune system, and the brain, empowering them to take charge of their health through awareness, science, and lifestyle. So, I am going to turn it over to you, Dr. Sveta, to share with us tonight a bit more about LifeVantage and how you heard about this company, and as a physician, what caught your attention here. So thank you so much.
Well, actually, thank you, Isa. The interesting factoid is that it seems like we were introduced to LifeVantage by the same person. So it's just Marisa was your client. However, per se, I was a client of Marisa. Marisa was my yoga teacher, and I happened to like mopping the floors after the yoga class. So she started a conversation about oxidative stress, and the rest is history. So I was intrigued with uh, not with LifeVantage because I never wanted to do the business, to be honest with you. I was intrigued by the concept of the product. And that's where my journey started. I believe everyone has start point to this journey. My story basically, despite that I am a double trained physician, conventional physician, once trained in the Soviet Union and the second time trained in Canada. Also, in a sense, I have a degree, not a degree, a fellowship. I'm a board certified in anti-aging and regenerative medicine through American Fellowship. The thing is, my story started with my mother, who passed away from cancer. And being a conventional physician, um, I was actually at the disarray and at a forced stop in terms of why was I so helpless and what do I do? And that's my story with health and my story with cellular metabolism. That's how it all started. And LifeVantage is still an essential part of that story. And that's, however, the interesting part about this type of a business is, as Isa said, we didn't know each other. We're not the same team. We're friends. with business partners, with friends. So today's like a unique presentation. Sometimes you just want to present with your friend, and sometimes you just want to share. Because in this business, not every time we're in a high, sometimes we're in a low. But when we are by each other and for each other, we basically regenerate, we activate ourselves. And to present with Isa is such a pleasure because it almost feels like our souls connect. So that's where I come. So go ahead, Is. Will you go? You want me?
Oh, go right ahead, Sveta.
So the interesting thing about this slide is why does life get out of balance? Diet, stress, medications, aging, lack of sleep, environment. Why is it so important for me? Because, guys, everything about us has to be balanced. And as a physician and as a cell doctor, I love to use the word which is called metabolome or metabolomics, meaning that the function of the cells. And the cells need to be functioned properly. Like Mia is a musician. Her husband is an amazing musician. He plays a viola in the orchestra and stuff. And the orchestra has to be in synchrony, not in cacophony. And that is exactly what cells need to do. So yes, we cannot just jump on the LifeVantage products without balancing our diet, without addressing our stress. One of the probably most important part of our life, then everything with LifeVantage in all of the above is going to apply to our aging, either anti-aging or pro-aging. Oh, absolutely, including the lack of sleep and environment. But again, when we start talking LifeVantage, why do the doctors do LifeVantage? Next slide. The doctors do LifeVantage because what is the culprit of our life? When per se we jump back to the previous slide, what was there? Lack of sleep, bad diet, stress. But when you start piling up this external sort of, stimuli or external insults, what does it do? It piles up into the cells and creates the stress of the cells. And the cell stress or cellular stress is called oxidative stress, oxidants. What do the oxidants do? They damage the cells. And as you see in the slide now, the thing is, so before, that's fine, you can keep it. The thing is, where does it per se, oxidative stress? So there's a notion, the three most important things in our life, in our health, is how do we control our stress or oxidative stress? And then from oxidative stress, how do we control our chronic inflammation? And from that, how do we control autoimmunity? Everything starts with control of the oxidative stress. How did LifeVantage started with oxidative stress? How? In 2003, there was an expose done by Joan Caniones, who is one of the ABC
2005.
correspondents. Somebody needs to mute yourself. So when he presented an expose on ABC, something that's supposed to be an anti-aging wanderer, you guys, you obviously know what the exposés are there for, to debunk it. Well, what happened is the debunkment doesn't happen or didn't happen. What happened is that when Canona started taking Pretandem or NRF2, those day and age in 2003, they didn't know that Pretandem is an NRF2 activator because now we're going to talk later about NRF2. They just knew that Pretandem deals with oxidative stress or cellular damage and using Joan Canyones as quote unquote guinea pig. They saw that in 14 days, Joan Canyones' oxidative stress went down by 45%.
Mm.
So now, from that perspective, that's how the company started. It started from retail, obviously flunked, and a very wise man decided to turn this into the network realm because those day and age, still now, maybe with the help of a social media, it had to be and has to be from person to person. So what is so how do we take care of the cellular stress? How do we take care of oxidative stress? And then oxidative stress is a accumulation of way too many free radicals. So free radicals are those oxidants. They basically are thieves because they're missing something, and in order to get that something, which is called an electron, so they're stealing it from anywhere in the cells. So the cell has a mechanism which is in the cell, which is called nrf2 activator. And nrf2 activator depletes with aging. Nrf2 activation depletes with our lifestyle choices. So in order to bring, and without NRF2 activation, the cell will never get healthy and will never get clean. And another very, very important part of an NRF2 is that NRF2 actually takes care of that outside broad cellular stress. So now coming with Protandim, why Protandim was so awesome, as well as this is the pattern of LifeVantage products. Everything is built on synergy. So as you see, it's a very simple combination. Well, people say, okay, take Protandim, don't eat your foods. No. So there are activators and there are supplements. So, and then there are activators as the activators in the cell, like an NRF2 activator. And then are activators or antioxidants that we eat. And so we absolutely, as despite that, you see that when we eat our antioxidants, like for example, like blueberries, strawberries, greens, whole bunch of varieties, I mean fruits and vegetables by and large, as you see, it operates on a virtue of 1-to-1 free radical to an antioxidant. And however, when you activate your own, it's in a much higher rate. So one proper antioxidant can minimize or nullify up to 1 million free radicals per second every second. However, they need to be combined. You cannot do one without another. The whole idea is you guys must eat this rainbow. You have to eat this rainbow and you have to activate NRF2. And then, I prefer activate NRF2 via health, via natural products, via very clean synergistic combination of roots and herbs as opposed to synthetic combination because there are drugs on the market. Next. Now, for the doctors, next slide, please, if possible, Isa. So the thing is, what is so important for the doctors? For the doctors, it is the scientific validation, and what separates us in network marketing business is, next slide, please, the peer-reviewed studies. So when you go to the doctors or healthcare professionals database, PubMed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health Digital Library, and you just simply click Protandim. I believe 28 studies are entirely dedicated to Protandim, and myriad of studies they mention Protandim, which is my validation because I need to know that research foundation. Next, please. Now, this is important. This, despite that it was published in 2015, it absolutely stays the same. It stays the same that NRF2 is potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. NRF2 is the master regulator of cellular health, period. Blank, done. So how you going to activate it, it's up to you as long as you're activating it. I'm activating mine. I'm on Protandim since 2013. Me, my husband, my dog, and my cat all the time, and the other cat is sometimes. So my whole family is on Protandim. Next. I think It's about ISA. It's about ISA for now. Now, interesting thing about ISA is, so I do let's say medicine, and I am a cell doctor amongst other things. What does ISA do amongst other things too? Other than I told you that she does the soul, but she's a professional esthetician. So what does Isa know? Isa knows every product on the market. Am I right, Isa? Right?
Thank you,
So
Sveta.
she knows all the professional brands and all the local brands and all the other brands. So for some reason, Isa chose to do LifeVantage skin product, and now especially something that is called liquid collagen peptides. It's all yours.
Yes, thank you, Sveta. I was, as I mentioned, I was introduced to Protandem and the science of it by Marisa Harrelson. And when I saw this and when I saw that we could reduce free radical damage and oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, clinically proven and validated by over 30 peer-reviewed clinical studies, I was blown away. And we were, in my skincare facility, when the newest vitamin C would come out, we would cut an apple open and we would leave it on the counter and we would baste one half of it with the new vitamin C and then leave the other half and see which one oxidized faster. And of course, the one with the vitamin C, of course, would oxidize a bit slower. But here, when I saw this and I thought, if we can do this internally, this is amazing. And so I've just been so passionate about this and the effects that it has on the skin. Protandim, by reducing that inflammation or the oxidative stress so dramatically in the body, we're seeing improvements with conditions like premature aging, premature signs of aging, hyperpigmentation, acne, all of this. And we don't claim to treat, cure, or mitigate disease, but when cellular metabolism and cellular health is optimized, our skin is the first to show. It's that organ that we see it so visibly. So 3 years ago, activated collagen comes out, and I have to say, when this came out, I thought if LifeVantage is coming out with an activated collagen or a liquid collagen, it's got to be different. And I was blown out of the park, Sveta. So comes in a little single serve bottle like this. And this is the only collagen on the market that actually activates your cells to create collagen and also downregulates the gene that's responsible for the degradation. So it's very different than anything that is on the market right now. So it activates with 10 different or the red ruby quinoa, which is the activator, replenishes with antioxidants and 10 different marine peptides. And then it helps maintain all of those results by downregulating that gene that degrades collagen. So in our 8-week clinical study, we saw that the collagen by itself increased collagen density by 42% in 8 weeks, which is phenomenal. That's very impressive. But it was the stories that were coming back, other than the visible results we were seeing with people that were on this product. It was the stories of improved sleep, better workouts, lean muscle mass improving, eye health, all of that. And so the company went back and did studies on that combination of Protandim with this collagen, and that showed an increase of collagen density of 100%. So that was phenomenal. Also increasing key antioxidant enzymes like catalase and it just phenomenal. So 100% in just 8 weeks. And photos are what people love to see. And these are, if you look at this is 30 days. You can even see a market improvement in just 14 days. But this woman in the middle, Jane, that's 30 days. And you can just see, look at the whites of the eyes of these people. I mean, you can just tell that internally everything is functioning better. So this product is for men, women, all ages, and when taken together, again, phenomenal results, 100% increase in collagen density in just 30 days. So really amazing. And if you are into clean beauty, then check out the Think Dirty app because our collagen rates is 0 on that app. So it's just a very clean product. So I'm Dr. Sveta. You're a physician. Tell us what is so unique from your perspective about this activated collagen.
Thanks, Isa. Amazing stuff that you always present. So the thing is, it's interesting. She's talking about the skin and all these pictures and stuff. And as a physician, initially, when I was told LifeVantage is coming up with collagen, I was so skeptical, and I was like, "Are you nuts? The market is absolutely saturated with collagen. It doesn't work." I didn't particularly know why it doesn't work. Now I kind of know. So, and I thought, well, that's not going to jive and something like that. So, and then I started studying, obviously, and started reading about this. And for me, liquid collagen, for me, not exactly about the skin. Why? What is so unique about our liquid collagen? So, guys, let's say collagen, right? Collagen is a huge molecule and stuff. So, and if you, so the market is saturated with collagen. The market is not saturated, oops, sorry, the market is not saturated with liquid collagen peptides. And that's the whole idea. Why doesn't it work? Because when you just do collagen and powder, and then somebody also gives you the misnomer, the vegan collagen, things like that do not exist. There is no vegan collagen. Collagen is an animal derived product. So you can create the composition that is equivocal, the composition of acids that is similar to collagen, but that's not collagen. So collagen, when you take in that powdered form and stuff, it's not bioavailable and bioabsorbable. What does that mean? It means that you eat it, but you damage your body because your body doesn't know what to do with it. So the uniqueness about our liquid collagen peptides is that, as I said, liquid collagen peptides. Now, there are 28 types of collagen. What does it mean? Collagen is a collagen. The molecule of collagen is the same. It's the same biochemical composition. What is different in those 28 collagens is the shape and the form. It's a different geometrical shape. So that different 28 different geometrical shapes applies to different systems and organs. That is why our liquid collagen peptides work, because containing 10 different types, they are unique to, to particular system. So we have the collagen peptides that are unique to retina, to cardiovascular system, to kidneys, to lungs, to GI, to immune system, and on and on. That's why it operates to some of the brain, because that's why it operates on so many levels. That's why it's unique. Number one. Number two, why else is it unique? Because as you remember, I told you collagen in those powders and those jugs and tabs that is somewhat cheap. Cheap doesn't mean good in this situation. So I said it's not bioavailable and bioabsorbable. In order to make it into the cells and into these organs, you need to break it down. That's what it's called, peptides. So the huge molecule of collagen is broken down into parts that are actually going into the cells. And when Isa told you additional components of liquid collagen, so let's say in Canada, we have, unlike US combination, we have blueberry juice. Why, for example, blueberry juice? Because it's a vitamin C. This is basically a genius. You have acerola, so it's great. Why? Because in order to properly push collagen into the cells, you need vitamin C. It's like a catalysis. It promotes. So that's when I told you we need to eat our fruits and vegetables, and we need to, to activate with something else. That's sort of the uniqueness of liquid collagen peptides. The composition, it's not just collagen peptides. It's the composition that we have different components to that little bottle. So So that is so good about liquid collagen peptides. Every one of us has a different story. Maybe one day I'll tell you the story of my husband, which has nothing to do, his testimony on liquid collagen peptide has nothing to do with the skin, but has something to do with the torn muscle. So that's for another day. Now, so very excited. In Canada, we launched MB when? Yesterday. Yesterday, Canada launched MB. So, and everybody knows now about, well, GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide. So one, there's GLP-1, GIP-1. There's a whole bunch of those type of hormones. Now, when we say hormone, what does it mean? When we say hormones, it means that it stimulates the cells, it stimulates the organs. So what is so important about the GLP-1? We obviously know that synthetic GLP-1, it's a huge industry, tremendous industry with the billions of dollars. So actually, so now everybody talks about weight loss. Guys, do you know how weight loss and GLP-1 was connected? It was a side effect of synthetics. When they started developing the GLP-1 drugs, how did they start develop? What is it for? It was for diabetes. So they discovered that people started losing weight. So that was the side effect that now the pharmaceutical industry is probably promoting a whole lot more than the diabetic control. Next, please. So it's interesting. On this slide, you're going to see the lady before and after. So if I ask you a question, did she lose weight? And a lot of you will say, yeah. However, I may argue, she may not have lost weight. What did she lose? She lost inches. So I don't know whether she lost weight per se, whether she, now look at her muscles, look at her muscular structure. So whether she lost inches and gained muscle, retaining the weight, that's the most important thing. I'm not per se with, especially our GLP-1 activation. I'm not teaching, oh, everyone is going to lose weight. No, that's not my point. My point is, how does it work? What does it do for cells? And what is the difference between synthetics and us? So we need to understand, of course, I'm not going to bash synthetics. However, we need to understand that one of the very critical side effects of synthetics GLP-1 activators is when they lose weight, guess what by and large they lose? They lose muscles. They don't lose fat. What is the culprit of us ladies in menopause? We lose muscle and we gain fat. It is extremely important for us to stay on top with our muscle mass. Sometimes it's not about the overall weight. We need to sustain our muscles. And that, so the naturality of the products, in our case, again, as I said, we may lose inches, but we gain muscles. Oh, don't forget that you still need to enter the gym for that kind of things. So now, what is so unique about us as opposed to synthetics? So I brought this. I brought this, and okay, sorry, Americans. Sorry, Americans. Canadian formulation is better. Sorry. They did basically simultaneous studies. Our results a little better. So the thing is, you see, there are two of them. Why there are two of them? That's a whole idea. So you need to, unlike synthetics, which kind of, unifocal, our GLP-1 complex operates on multifunctionality. So what does it do? How do you activate GLP-1? So you need to you need to feed those cells that make GLP-1. What do these cells eat? So these cells eat something that microgut produces. So, meaning that without healthy microgut, the GLP-1 is not going to be synthesized properly. So, number one, you need a healthy microgut. So, this thing, wait, sorry, wrong. This thing is going to help our microgut. Why? Because this thing contains a whole bunch of things that will that have prebiotics. What are the prebiotics? Prebiotics is a food for our microgut. Now, this thing also contains certain group of bacteria, some lactobacilli and bifidobacilli. What do? They push our microgut or themselves. They make something that is called short chain, sorry for medical term, short chain fatty acids. And those short chain fatty acids, they feed the cells that make GLP-1. So fine. What is the culprit of the Western society? The culprit of the Western society is the insulin resistance, meaning that you can be on a cardboard diet and you're going to be gaining weight because the food is not accessible to the cells. So your GLP-1, you can make tons of GLP-1, but then, so we already activated our microgut. Then we stimulated our cells, L cells, they make GLP-1. Now, what do you need? Now you need anchors, right? To basically open the gates or what is called GLP-1 receptors. You need to open the gates for that insulin to start promoting the food into the cells. And that comes from this little bottle. So that's the trifecta of our MB. Mind. Now, why is it called mind? Because the GLP-1 actually has and goes to the brain. Our brain has a GLP-1 receptor, so important. So the extremely important component of this complex that it's going to go and work properly on pancreas to help insulin. Then this complex is going to go and help our stomach to do what? To indicate with the brain together to indicate to control satiety and stop us and what control what else, the promotion, the propagation of food. So the food sometimes it goes very fast, we don't need it because then again we're hungry. This is the control of that motion of the food bolus. And so that's why that MB is very well formulated and it works. Again, sorry for my cat. She's playing. She's not crying. She's stealing a hat. So now she's got a hat, my hat, and she's playing with it. Sorry. Sorry for interruption. It's in a live presentation. So this is very important. And this is very important in, Isa is going to talk about it. We're sort of transferring into with good foods. You got to eat right. Isa, it's all yours.
Fascinating, Sveta. I love how you just explained that, the mind body products. And I have to say that my experience on the mind body was definitely all mind initially, right? So, phenomenal, phenomenal formulation. So, we just wanted to touch also on in the US, we have our P84, which is a new product for the microbiome support. This is for gut health as well. And this is available on the NFR site if you are in Canada. So, this is a prebiotic, probiotic, postbiotic, and digestive enzyme all in one, two packets that you're taking each day. And this is again helping to restore that balance in the microbiome. You're getting all of these fruits, vegetables, and Sveta mentioned this, the power of food. And so, great segue into this, Sveta, and eating a healthy diet. As much as you can. So LifeVantage is all about balancing the system. So we have our Protandim NRF2, our True Science Liquid Collagen, the Mind Body GLP-1 system, and now the P84. So we're addressing all of these different symptoms or systems, excuse me, in the body. Um, if you're wondering which one is best for you, get back to the person that invited you to this and just say, this is where I want to start. This is my main concern. But for everyone, for every single person, we start with Protandim NRF2 and then that activated collagens for anyone wanting that outward shine or that glow. They're really looking for that, or helping with, like Sveta said, some muscle, some tendon issues, perhaps sleep, mind, body, anyone that's looking to help control those cravings and start their wellness journey a bit deeper. And then P84 is again for everyone. So there's so many different places to start here. But we are, as LifeVantage, as you've heard us say, we're all about activation. We are a company that is global. We are in over 25 countries, and we have an array of products. Sveta and I just touched on a couple of them, a few of them this evening, and we're going to go into a few more on our next webinar where we're going to dive deep into brain health. So why LifeVantage and why now? Well, we have a compensation plan that our CEO took into consideration and evolved before it was necessary to do so. So we are appealing now to many people who just want to be an affiliate marketer, an influencer, someone who wants to share a link, just as someone who owns a business and just wants to be able to share a link, or traditional network marketing where people want to build a team. So we have products that are unique. We're a publicly traded company, so that means that everything is in full transparency. And you can go to our website, lifevantage.com, or the affiliate site of the person that invited you, and scroll all the way to the bottom. And you can read about our leadership, our tremendous board of directors and our leaders. Steve Fife is our CEO. We were highly recognized by Newsweek magazine recently. We also offer healthcare, and this is something that I love that our company saw. What can we provide an opportunity for people that might want to do this full time and might need that support for healthcare? We are financially transparent, as we said. That means we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. We actually rang the closing bell for Wellness Week on Wall Street twice now. And then we have a legacy program, which I am just so passionate about as well. So really something for everyone here. And we have over 60,000 consultants worldwide. And this is, again, that's nothing. So this is a baby opportunity, if you will, and a great opportunity, like we said, for anyone who wants a business, has that entrepreneurial spirit, but doesn't want the inventory or the assets. And just wanted to share that, when I met Marisa in the beginning of this webinar, I shared with you that I met her as a customer, and I had a very successful business, 2 locations. And I also saw we were heavily retail based, along with doing skincare. And I saw how retail was shifting right to where we are today, where if people came in and I was out of their product, I was out of the face color that they wanted for their mineral makeup, they would say to me, I'll just order it online because I can do that now and it'll come right to my door. And so I started to see this happening, and it's led us exactly where we are here today. So to me, when I learned about this and I learned about the opportunity to share this and incorporate it into my network of people, of friends, of clients, I was really intrigued by it because it was a way for me to build a business and not to have that overhead and the inventory and the assets that I had previously. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We would like to share a little bit more with you if you're interested on how to get involved. We do have packs. This is just one of them. And this is our largest pack that has all of the products in it, but we have many different variations of that. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Sveta, any final words that you might like to add?
Uh,
I don't know where our slide went there, our final slide, but the
well,
gist of it. Do you want me to read it and you can speak to it?
go ahead.
Okay.
I can speak to this. Hang on. So yesterday I saw the, oops, I turned off my cell phone. Just give me 1 second. Um, Isa, thank you so much. It's such
Thank
a pleasure
you.
always. And you remember, we're supposed to cheer with Axio.
That's right.
It's not in the Life Vantage bottle, but it has, this is Axio because we are planning our next, we haven't spoken about Axio, and I don't know about you, but my day doesn't go without Axio. I absolutely love that drink. It's for the brain, for the body, and it tastes so good. So I love Axio. Okay, my cell phone is on. So yesterday's, it was posted on Facebook. Very interesting quote. Listen, network marketing isn't a scam, it's just a mirror. It exposes your excuses, your work ethic, and your hunger for freedom. Most people call it a pyramid because climbing it requires discipline they are not willing to face. And I absolutely love that quote. Because yes, network marketing challenge you in every which possible way, because if you do it honestly, with love, with integrity, with professionalism, it's the best business. Isa, thank you so much. And I love you dearly.
Thank
Everyone, guys, thank you so, so much for joining us. I see so many familiar faces, and indeed, I am very biased. Thank you, my Canadians. Love you all.
thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.